What's today? Madness Monday? You already know we at work decided to hop on, chop it up with individuals, see what's the talk of the town is going down, the word of the curve, you heard me? Let me just set this up. Here in Southern California, it is still hot as fuck. We are having, that nasty ass weather where it's hot as fuck. Like we're in the hundreds type shit. So probably not a good time to be out and about, right? But, maybe when the sun goes down. But see, it's weather like this that I'm glad that I work where I work at, because, we don't have to feel this type of heat all day. Oopsie. Okay. Now, for those who are curious, on my other channel, I did drop, a few battle rap reactions. If you guys want to scope those out, so far they've been good. Really good, as a matter of fact. A lot of talent, a lot of good music. For those who are looking for, new music to bump to. We do have that. Whoops. Whoop. What's cracking like in Derek? What you getting yourself into, my boy? The homie Sal is definitely up in the building for the brocheros. I hope you guys are having a lovely Monday. Here it's hot as fuck, so. Don't fall for the AI trap. The AI trap? What AI trap? That's right, your night off. That's right, my boy. That's right. A nice hamburger. So es todo, carnal. Feeling American? That's right. I like come up with videos of AI characters glitching. Yeah, but see, the AI is far from perfect, though. Like, I seen those AI videos, right? And you can tell that they're AI, though, because, one, they don't capture the face expressions because obviously they're animatronics, right? So, well, it's a fucking software, right? So it doesn't know how to track the face expressions. Not only that, but just it just doesn't align, right? It's crazy, though. I mean, if you're not really paying attention, then I guess I can see why you could be fooled. But that technology is crazy, though. It is getting better and better. What up, bro? What's cracking like a dash pool? No, I didn't do it live yesterday, my boy. I had all kinds of shit to do, so, we didn't have time to do the live. Firme Monday, that's right. AI will replace the and TV stars. Probably. What does AI have to do with your protest, carnal? The homie Just Blaze is definitely up in the building. What's good, carnal? Are you excited for 4th of July? No. Why would I be excited for 4th of July for? Now, if all these people are going to celebrate 4th of July after all the protests that they've been doing, then I don't know what to say to that. Then I'll just be like, you don't say. Interesting. Considering the state of our country right now. When I go to Cali, let's get some tacos. Simon carnal, you already know. The troll just... He's cool, my boy. He's cool. Typical all over the place. Who's a liberal? I'm not liberal, conservative, Republican, nor Democrat. I don't believe in the politics. I am myself and can think for myself. If I want to side with the right, I'll side with the right. If I want to side with the left, I'll side with the left, depending what's good for the people. You know what I mean? Just got to make sense. But I have no loyalty to neither side or to neither group. They can kiss my ass. The stories need more than one character. What's cracking like it, Mr. Pasa? Got a sore throat? Damn, my boy, you got to drink that Theraflu tea. What up, my boy? What's cracking like it? What's good? Hi, hello there. You feel fatigued? Drink some, what is it, electrolyte? Or some Pedialyte? Or Gatorade or Powerade. You need electrolytes in your system. Big Cubo, lowrider. Eso es todo, carnal. Any remedies for throat cold? Vaporu and 7-Up. You know that shit cures everything. Shout out to Death Row Community Prison Lifers Save Journey. Well, I don't know about all the Death Row community, right? Because some of them actually do deserve to be there. Are you even Mexican? No, I'm Irish. Sounds liberal to me. Hey, if that's what it sounds like, then that's what it sounds like, my boy. I can't control how stuff comes across to you. Expensive firework. I know, huh? Just burn the money. Just go out there and burn the money. The biggest difference between Republicans, Democrats, Republicans support their party candidates no matter what. Democrats think what makes a difference by not voting. Yeah, but I believe that they both have that loyalty attachment to their side, though, because clearly Biden was not fit for presidency, yet these individuals stood for him and pushed for him, and it's like, you know what I mean? I think both of the sides have that problem to them, that they feel like they have to have this loyalty to their political party. How can I not be biased like you, Carlan? How could you not be biased like me, Carlan? What do you mean? It's easy, just just look at the scenarios for what they are, right? And you have to also look at both sides' perspective. One thing that I find interesting that I see a lot of people don't do is that when it comes to anything, right? If you have this, like, let's say this dislike towards another opinion or something like that, they tend to not hear them out, right? And it's important to always hear them out. Like, never go in there already judging these individuals, like, oh, these fools full of shit, or these fools are gonna be talking nonsense. Like, go in there with an open mind and really hear them, right? And even though it turns out to be bullshit like you thought it was, right? It's always good just to go with an open mind, right? And see people's perspectives. Like liberals. No, because liberals tend to align more with the Democrats, and they're more democratic than anything. Maybe if it was still what a liberal was supposed to be, right? Then I would say liberal, right? But the Liberal Party is now just basically being a Democrat, and a conservative is basically being Republican now. You know what I mean? That fine line is actually pretty much gone. You get what I'm saying? See, that's the problem, though. Maybe if it was what it originally was, then yeah, but it's not that no more, though. The real game is maintaining a 50-50 split and keep people divided while nothing truly changes. Yeah, that is true as well, because both sides, it's whether the right wing or the left wing, it's the same bird at the end of the day, right? I mean, these individuals clearly don't care about what's good for the people or America. They just say whatever they need to say in order to keep their jobs, basically. They only care about securing their jobs, not really actually doing anything about it. Because you can look at it however you want, whether a Democratic president was in office or a Republican president was in office, it's always been the same thing. The rich keep getting richer, the poor keep getting poorer. I mean, that's always been the game, no? The rich against the poor. Do you think there will be a third political party in our lifetime? I think so. I think so. Oh shit! What's up, shit? How you feeling, brother? We good. We good. What about you, Carnal? You're a pro-libertarian. That's the. But see, I wouldn't say that I title myself anything, right? Because, I could agree, like, let's say there'll be a policy, right? And for my own beliefs and my own views, right, of how I live and how I think, right, that I would tend to be siding with, like, let's say, something that's like anti liberal, right? And then people are like, well, I thought you were a liberal. And see, that's why I don't give myself titles, because it's like, no, but see, that's the thing, I'm not none of those things, right? That's the reason why I don't brand myself something, right? Because then if I give my opinion on something, people are like, oh, so now you're anti what you are. That's why I don't brand myself anything. That's why I don't give myself titles. you know that now lets me be and choose whatever I want without having to feel like I'm going up against whatever I titled myself. Like, oh man, I really feel like this, but if I say this, people are gonna say that I'm anti-liberal, or I'm not liberal no more, or I'm a hypocrite. That's the reason I don't give myself none of those titles, right? Because I think for myself, right? Because I feel like a lot of people out there, that's the reason why they don't express or say how they truly feel, because they're afraid that they're going up against whatever the fuck they branded themselves. This way, I feel like I don't have to fucking, like I said, give my loyalty to any of that. Saca la bolsita, la tuya primero, carnal. Hay que ver qué pedo. The Green Party. Yeah, I guess it is the Green Party, but is the Green Party really a thing though? You get what I mean? I think meaning like as in another party where it's like at the equal level of, like, let's say Republicans and Democrats. I think that's probably what he meant it by. We need to have a system like the UK or Canada in order to function. Well, no, because they have their problems as well, though. Yeah, but then again, anything's gonna have its problems, right? That's just the world we live in. What is that you don't like about cats? That I don't like about cats? That you know they kind of just are like uptight, not really playful. They kind of want you to kiss ass to them. There's a reason why multiple parties are allowed to run an election in county. She's like the UK. I know, but also here in America, right? It's just that they don't get any publicity. They don't get any spotlight. They're pretty much ignored. If they ain't on TV, then they not as important. Like a rebel without a cause. Well, I wouldn't say without a cause, because if I do have my beliefs, then the cause is my beliefs, though. Donald Trump versus Joe Biden. Yeah, they both suck, though. My love bug is definitely up in the building. Love you, baby. I'm just an independent. Yeah, there you go. I'm independent. These parties can't reach the level of Republican and Democrats unless we live in a. You know what? How can I say? If it was, I know this is gonna sound dumb, but this is really how America works, though. If somebody was to run, or somebody who's a billionaire, or somebody who's like has a big following, celebrity or some shit like that, right? If they was to come up with a new party and run, then they would probably be as big as the Republicans and Democrats. That's just how America works, right? They fall over heels to rich people and celebrities, right? They'll follow them to the ends of time if they have to. Well, didn't Elon Musk say he was going to start his own party? These people are like, oh, look, a celebrity. Fuck yeah. Everything they say is true. It's a billionaire. They always know what's right. That's how they're billionaires. I didn't realize that's how it worked, but okay. Interesting. Meet the vato sale from. He's young and just. Oh, serio? That's right, my boy. That's cool. Donald Trump gonna the clones war. Donald Trump is crazy. Respect, Shadow. What's good? D Hood Star TV. Shout out to you and yours. I feel like most people are independent, but both sides power. No. Look, I would say that, right? But it seems like a lot from what I see out of the not so much the Republican, right, but the MAGA movement, right? The MAGA. They're 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 just loyal to Donald Trump and whatever he says. Like, even if it doesn't make any sense, even if it's against reality, it's like they believe in not talking ill on their commander in chief, right? They literally will fucking believe anything he says and will never betray the MAGA movement. It's almost like a cult, bro. You know, like just seeing how there's a channel, right, that goes to every single Trump rally, right, and interviews the Trump supporters, right, and just the amount of fucking delusion on that place is crazy, though. It's mind blowing, actually. I'm just like, wow, like I don't know, it's insane. Are you still? The show's gonna Simón Carnal, ya sabes. There's no more middle class. Wait, well, the middle, is there even a middle class nowadays? Well, pretty soon there probably won't be. Yeah, but it's definitely it's crazy though. When I see those interviews, I'm just like, it's mind blowing. It's saying like how they're mad, how the left or the Democrats, how they name call Donald Trump all the time, how they're always insulting him and calling him names, right? But yet they do it to every single Democratic side, right? But they don't see the hypocrisy there. I'm just like, wow. So it's okay to call these people names, but once they do it to your papi, it's not okay. Interesting. Do you think there's no such thing as the middle class? Nah, there is, right? It's barely hanging on there, but I wouldn't say like there's a strong middle class like there was before, though. Just going based off the numbers when it comes to like the unemployment rate and all that. But it's crazy though. And and as time goes, if they don't, fix up their acts right, shit's only gonna get worse. Which I feel like that's where it's gonna go because this individual, just has a hard time, changing. Right? I don't believe that he will change. Uh, when you were rockabilly, Simon Carnal, ya sabes. You like horror films? Horror films are pretty cool. I'm not gonna say like I'm a big fan of them, right? But they're cool. I scope them out. Isn't Megan supposed to be a horror movie that turned action movie? Youngster homies are out and out now that it's summertime. Oh yeah, definitely. Once it's summertime, things start to get more active. It's definitely true. That's without a doubt. It's because the heat. People like to be out and about more in the nighttime. Because during the day, nobody wants to be out there in the fucking hot ass sun. Right, so they plan everything for the like that nighttime. You see more people out and about, maybe going for runs or walks and shit like that, or hanging out. You see more parties being later and later, and more events. So it definitely starts to get more chaotic during the nighttime during the summer, or at least here in California. Hanging out with the homies, I do get the see in person individuals act a fool with alcohol and stuff. Oh yeah, bro. Once you see that, once the alcohol and the drugs come into place, oh bro, shit starts to get crazy like a motherfucker. 9 times out of 10, that's the only reason why shit cracks because fools are on alcohol or on drugs. They act completely different when they're sober. Why do you think once they sober up, they start to tell when they're locked up? Once they get arrested and once the drugs wear off, all of a sudden they're no longer, solid and no longer about that life and no longer are, you know what I mean? Once they sober up, they're like, hey, I want to talk. That's why I tell people, hey, see how the individual is when he's sober, bro. Because if he's not the same when he's sober than when he's on drugs, then let me tell you something, bro. Just don't even take that vato. Because that fool's gonna, he's gonna tell on everybody. If the fool can't do shit when he's sober, then man, then that fool is far from solid. You see a lot of that, behaviors change like from night to day, bro. Once substance is involved, right? It's like they get more aggressive, and all of a sudden they're more, active and more tough. You can tell even like when you're watching, YouTube, when individuals are sober, how cool and mellow they are. And then when they're fucking high off their asses, right? How they're like, man, shit, I'll smash on anybody, man. I was known for dumping on fools, man. So they don't want any problems with me, shit. I'll gun them fools down. Like, damn, my boy, why so aggressive today? Why so stiff today? Why don't you blink, man? Blink, my guy. Like, oh, it's because you high out of your ass, huh? Yeah, a lot of people don't know how to control themselves when they're on drugs or alcohol. And when someone said that you're a Trump supporter, like, what the fuck, Shadows? Yeah, and that's look. The reason why people say, like, when I made the video about, I hope that Donald Trump succeeds, and I hope that he actually, does what he says he's gonna do. I started getting called a Trump supporter, but that's like, well, no, that's because legitimately that's what I wish to happen, because like I said, if he succeeds, the country succeeds, right? And I at least have to give people the benefit of the doubt, right? Like, I don't know if he's gonna come and fuck everything up like I think he is, right? But I have to give him that benefit of the doubt because I don't know the future, right? So he might come and he might surprise me, right? So there's at least a 1% chance that you might be, surprised, and they might actually, have changed their ways, right? So I gave him that. I gave him the benefit of the doubt, right? Because I know a lot of people can't give people the benefit of the doubt, right? So I gave him that, right? But it turned out to be exactly like how I thought it was gonna be, right? But like I said, just because I don't know that to be the facts, right, at the time, I couldn't say 100% that this was a piece of shit and he was gonna fuck everything up, right? Like, because like I said, I'm not a psychic. I don't know the future, right? So I had to give him that 1% chance. And I feel like that's what the Democrats struggle in that, right? I feel like the Democrats too, why a lot of people tend to side with Trump or why they support Trump and not the Democrats, is because they started acting just like the Republicans, right? Like the name calling, the insults, like they don't have to do all of that, right? Because then they're acting just like that individual. It's like they should just be the bigger person, like, it's okay to be fan carnal. What? Of course, I'm a fan of the Lakers. I'm a fan of the Broncos. I'm a fan of a lot of things. Yeah, I'm secretly a Trump supporter. Well, not secretly, because now I just came out of the closet. I'm a Trump and Biden supporter. I support everybody, as a matter of fact. You're right, though. It's for the drama. Yeah. Real talk, bro. Once they sober up, bro, all of a sudden, all that, riding and dying for the cause just goes away for them. Shit, do you even get some of those homies that only come around whenever, they had a bad day or they had a fight with their family or a fight with their girlfriend? That's the only time you ever see them come around. Like when you see them, like, I don't know, like, oh, damn, what's up, my boy? It's been a while. Hey, what happened, bro? You and your girl got in a fight? Or you and your parents got in a fight? Because that's the only time you ever come around, bro. So whenever something bad happens to them, and then they want to come and just now, fuck shit up, right? Like, damn, my boys, whoa, órale. Homie had a fight with his hyena for sure. Like, ¿qué onda, carnal? You know what I mean? Like, fools turn gangster just when they're on drugs and turn gangster whenever they get in a fight. So what I mean, like, bro, if you have to force a fool to come through the Hollywood, my boy, don't even take that vato. Don't take him. That fool's gonna tell on everybody and their mother, homie. You gotta be forcing vatos. Fuck that. Like, fool, come on, stop being a little bitch. Like, fool, you have to convince him. Nah, mejor que se quede, güey. Just leave that fool here. Because if not, man, she's gonna go all bad. Man, I didn't want to be here, man. I didn't want to come, man. It was them. They forced me. And then they come out and then they'll be like, yeah, the hood's not a good life, man. All them vatos are, two-faced. And like, what? Hoy nomás. Says the vato that wanted to play the part. Pinches vatos. Want to play the part, gets called out for it, and all of a sudden he's the good guy and he paints him as the villain. Hey, then don't pretend. See, that's why it's not good to pretend. See? That's why no jumper got itself into a mess. All these podcasters here, high and saying reckless shit. Yeah, bro, like they come on here and say all kinds of shit, bro, and then they get mad at the fucking channel for uploading the stuff. Like, hey, bro, hey, you never have to answer a question by force, bro. Like, you could just say next question. You don't have to talk about the topics, bro. These was over here felons and talking about how they have guns and how they'll gun fools down. Like how hard is it coming on a podcast and they asking you, like, well, you own a gun? No, hell no, bro. I never seen a gun a day in my life. I don't even know what guns look like. It's that easy, bro. It's that easy. But since they want to convince the audience that they're gangster, that they're tough guys, that's the only reason why they're doing it. They go about it this way, right? Because they want to convince the audience like they some G's or some shit. They're looking for validation on the internet, bro. Like, have you ever committed a crime? Fuck no, bro. I don't even know about crime. I don't even know what crimes are. I never committed a crime a day in my life. That's what you want to say. That's what you want to paint. Like, don't be fucking stupid, bro. Like, hey, fool, hey, you ever did a crime? No, homie. Hey, but then the audience will know that you're gangster. They don't need to know I'm gangster, bro. The only ones that need to know I'm gangster is the fucking hood and the hood only. That's it. They want to know my status and how I really am. They can go and ask the hood. But all these people that are not hood related, bro, I can give a fuck what they think about me. I don't care. Their opinions are irrelevant in the gangster world, bro. They mean nothing in the gangster world. They mean nothing. But see, that's what I'm talking about. People are seeking validation on the internet, bro. The whole internet could think that you're gangster, right? Because that's what you're paying yourself. But if you can't go to the hood and in the hood you're no good, then guess what, bro? You're no good no matter how many people you're able to convince on the internet. Where it matters, your shit means nothing, right? So the whole internet could think I'm a weenie and a pussy and everything, but if I'm good in the hood, that's the only thing that matters. The real life and the real world, not the internet. People want to create all these fucking internet lives for themselves, because this is where they mingle, this is where they interact, this is where they conversate, this is where they spend their time. That's why it means so much to them, bro, because they can't live how they want to live in the real world. They got to create this fucking narrative for themselves on here. Makes them feel better about themselves, their situations, how their career ended. You know what I mean? Same reason why people get mad because I said I wasn't going to do a Swifty Blue video. For what? No. What do you think about that? I have no idea. Like, it doesn't matter. Who cares? Because in all true reality, that information doesn't mean, like, nobody needs to speak on that. Who cares? That's why I never want to talk about prison or none of that shit. That's the reason I never go into those conversations. All right, ladies and gentlemen, my lunch break is over. We got to get back to it. It was good chopping it up with you guys, and we out.